Defining mindfulness. My name is Ruchika Prakash, and I'm an associate professor of psychology at Ohio State University. I'm a licensed psychologist and have also done research funded by the National Institutes of Health and the National Multiple Sclerosis Society looking at the effects of various mind-body interventions. My collaborator on this project is Cheryl Repose. Cheryl is an independently licensed clinician who has facilitated 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction programs in the Columbus community for over 2 decades now and has been instrumental in developing these materials. Mindfulness-based stress reduction is an effective and evidence-based program that was developed by John Kabat-Zinn at the University of Massachusetts Medical Center in 1978. This program and elements of it now exist all over the world. It has been offered in hospitals, clinics, schools, senior citizen centers, and corporations around the globe. There have been a number of research studies on this topic, many books have been written on it, and media offerings are abound as well. The 8-week program is based on the process and practice of mindfulness, a mind-body meditative practice that can quiet the mind, enhance focus, release physical and emotional distress, and increase insight and well-being. The discipline revolves around a particular way of paying attention and relating to mind, body, and the experiences in one's life. This work is highly experiential and will require your engagement. A definition of mindfulness according to John Kabat-Zinn. Mindfulness involves paying attention on purpose, without judgment, in the present moment, and with a kind and compassionate awareness. Paying attention this way affords a conscious choice to be more awake in our lives. There's a lot of slang reference about being mindful. However, it is far richer than most of us know. It's about training consciousness, discovering this awareness that's much vaster than thoughts or thinking, and accessing this awareness as opposed to getting attached to what is showing up in that moment. It affords us a greater capacity to be with what we are experiencing in any moment with much more freedom, ease, and choice about how we might relate to it. Mindfulness is an awareness practice that is both formal and informal. The formal practice trains us in strengthening our attention to the present moment experiences, and the informal, the living our life practice, is the moment-to-moment life application that results from the practices, teachings, and the explorations. So whether you're out gardening or cooking, the informal practices allow you to incorporate mindfulness into your daily living. Now, there's no expectation to be mindful all the time. However, we can all improve in our capacity to bring many more mindful moments to our lives, thus reducing our stress reactivity, giving us more room and opportunity to make skillful choices around how we might relate to stress and afford a greater sense of ease, well-being, joy, and appreciation. Mindfulness is not relaxation spelled differently. On occasions, you may get a great sense of ease and relaxation through this work, and at other times, not so much. There is no agenda here, but to enhance our relationship to being with our present moment experience, whatever it may be. Now, mindfulness is extensively being researched for its benefit for a number of health-based outcomes. For example, mindfulness has been examined for its impact on symptoms of depression and anxiety, how it may impact loneliness, reduce inflammation, enhance focus, strengthen the neural circuitry supporting enhanced attention and improved mood. The National Institutes of Health has a stage-based model that allows us researchers to systematically investigate and collect evidence supporting or not supporting the intervention we're testing. For any behavioral intervention, research often involves a cyclical process from stage 0, which is basic research on the topic, to stage 5, where we test the implementation and broad-scale dissemination of the intervention. Stage 2 and beyond is when we really start seeing strong evidence for that intervention, and these are challenging studies to conduct. Now, there are some stage 2 and stage 3 studies that have been done with mindfulness, especially with mindfulness training being helpful for stress reduction and reduction of depressive symptoms. But the research in many other domains is still in its infancy, and we need additional evidence to support the benefits of mindfulness for many of the health metrics we listed above. Our own studies have been pilot studies where we have examined the feasibility of mindfulness training for older adults and individuals with multiple sclerosis. Funded by the National Institutes of Health and the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, we've done 2 pilot studies where we have looked at older adults being randomized either to a 4-week mindfulness group or a 4-week lifestyle education group. In a study with MS patients, we randomized our participants to, again, either a 4-week mindfulness group or either an active control group where they did some cognitive training exercises or a waitlist control group. So what did we find? In our study with older adults, we examined whether mindfulness training reduced mind wandering. We all know about mind wandering, right? It's the shifting of our attention from what we're doing towards internal thoughts. In fact, research suggests that we spend about 30 to 50% of our wake time in mind wandering. We may be thinking about plans for dinner, calling family friends, walking the dog, planning conference travel, so on and so forth. But with the 4-week intervention, we saw a reduction in mind wandering in older adults. In individuals with MS, we found reductions in what we call emotion dysregulation, which is this underlying factor that plays a mechanistic role in many psychiatric disorders, including mood and anxiety disorders. Additionally, we found that participants got better on this task of processing speed, which is considered a core cognitive deficit in multiple sclerosis. Now, in this 8-week program that we have put together for you, you will be afforded many experiences throughout this course. They involve teaching and instruction, prose and poetry, specific formal practices, mindful movement, and homework practices, which include audio-based practices, and in fact are critical to your development in this work. You will like some of the components, no doubt, more than others. Even if you don't particularly prefer an experience, your active engagement is very important to the energy, life, and learning of this group overall. So the invitation here is to be curious, stay curious, and engage with the experiences as they are presented. Thank you.